Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this edition of NTV Sports Page. It's Wednesday, the 31st of May, and I'm Curtis Morton. In our headlines, Federal Netball League opens, and in our feature for this evening, St. Kitts Stakes Leeward Islands Masters Trophy. We'll take this break, and I'll be right back.
As a responsible taxpayer, you help to finance free health care at all health centers on Nevis. Thank you for putting country above self. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis. Be a responsible citizen.
Well, I'm back, and we start with football. We have SKNFA results for matches played Thursday, 25th May. In the Elvis Star Brown Women's League at the Nevis Athletic Stadium, Hot Springs Bath United came up against Queen City. Final score, 2-1 in favor of Queen City. Scoring for Bath, Andorisia Slater in the 47th minute, and scoring for Queen City, Kimoyan Grant in the 20th minute and Kerisha Powell in the 40th. We have also results for SKNFA matches played 28th of May. In the Elvis Star Brown Female League, Game 1, MFCR United Old Road Lady Jets versus Garden Hotspurs. Final score, Garden Hotspurs 0 and Old Road 19. Almost sounds like a cricket score. 19-0. And SKNFA results for matches played the 26th to the 28th of May in Division 1. Hard Times United came up against Rivers of Living Water. Final score, Hard Times 3, Rivers 0. SKNFA results for matches played 26th to the 28th May. Division, well, that's in the Premier Division. Security Forces came up against Hot Springs Bath United. Final score, Bath United 4, Security Forces 0. Scoring for Bath United, Kenesi Dorset in the 19th minute, Jalden Myers in the 45th, Omarion Bartlett in the 62nd, and Jamal Lewis in the 81st. Now to netball. The first Federal Cooperative Credit Union Federal Netball Competition got underway on the evening of Saturday, 27th May. It commenced with an impressive march past of the competing teams and culminated with an official opening ceremony at the Pamela Tyson Netball Complex. The ceremony was chaired by Ms. J.D. Keynes, the PRO for the St. Kitts Nevis Netball Association. The tournament will see matches played between teams from St. Kitts and Nevis, with matches played on both islands. The participating teams are Coscab Coca-Cola Shamrock Netball Club, Revivers, Lyamiga Housing Development Aqua Ballers, Newtown Netball Club, and Sadlers Ball Stars. Let's take in this.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are here this afternoon to signal the start of what is expected to be a very exciting league. It is being dubbed the First Federal Credit Union Federal League. And I pause here to say a hearty thank you to our sponsors, the First Federal Credit Union. I will be your chairperson this afternoon, and I am J.D. Keynes, the Public Relations Officer of the St. Kitts Nevis Netball Association. Today signals the start of the First Federal Credit Union Federal Netball League, where we are seeing teams from both St. Kitts and Nevis. The games for this league will be alternated on both islands. And we are expected to see matches between, or among rather, Coscab Coca-Cola Shamrock Netball Club, Revivers, yes, let's hear it for Coscab Coca-Cola Shamrock Netball Club, Revivers, Lyamiga Housing Development Aqua Ballers, Newtown Netball Club, and Sadlers Ball Stars. And I pause here to offer apologies on behalf of Sadlers. They will be participating in the league, but they were unable to be here for the opening, for the match pass and opening ceremony. But they did send their apologies. Ladies and gentlemen, we expect a keenly contested league with all of the teams and clubs that I previously mentioned. At this point in time, I will invite the president of the St. Kitts Nevis Netball Association, Mr. Dion French, to come forward and offer brief remarks. President French.
Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor and privilege for me to be here and be with you today at the official opening ceremony of the inaugural First Federal Credit Union Federal League. History never looks like history when you are living it. And today, we are celebrating history. 2023 is a very historical year for netball. 60 years ago, the St. Kitts Netball Association was formed. 50 years ago, the St. Kitts netball team won for the first time the Caribbean tournament. It was 50 years ago the St. Kitts and Nevis Netball Association was formed. 45 years ago, we repeated winning of the Caribbean Netball Tournament. Netball in St. Kitts and Nevis was at its pinnacle. We were forced to be reckoned with. We were making waves on the regional and international scene. If you were to interview any of those young ladies today about their preparation, they would say it took discipline, commitment, and it meant never ever missing a practice because your spot was never secured. There was always another female vying to make the squad. At this moment, it is with a sad heart that I ask us to stand for us 1 minute in silence for the 1973 and 1978 coach that brought the championship to St. Kitts, Mr. Earl Clark, who this week transitioned. We'll have a moment in silence.
Good afternoon, all, and I wish to adopt the protocol that has already been established. As Mr. French would have given so much information on First Federal, there's not much for me to say. But First Federal Credit Union is elated to support St. Kitts Nevis Netball Association for the second consecutive year out of a successful resuscitation of netball in St. Kitts and Nevis in 2022. We pride ourselves as being the first and the only credit union to have a presence in both St. Kitts and also in Nevis. And in doing so, we are keen to sponsoring federal initiatives such as this. Further, First Federal commends the St. Kitts Nevis Netball Association, executives and representatives from the Netball Nevis and Netball St. Kitts for daring to create a functional partnership model in the federation that works. First Federal Credit Union, its management, staff, board of directors, and various committee members are grateful for this collaboration, which allows us to make a meaningful contribution to the development of sports, and by extension, to the development of women in sports. Sports can be a safe space in which girls and women can cultivate identities and hone the skills that are necessary for success, not only on this court, but also in the court of life. We would like to congratulate the netballers, all those who are present this afternoon, in a clad of their uniform. Ladies, you're looking fantastic. I would also like to congratulate the St. Kitts Nevis Netball Association for their efforts in developing netball in the Federation. And finally, best wishes to the teams, their coaches, their supporters, and sponsors in participating in the First Federal Credit Union Federal Netball League. Ladies and gentlemen, may the best team win.
There is no greater honor for any sportsman or sportswoman than that of representing your country, your community, yourselves at the highest level. However, for you to ascend to that pinnacle, the pinnacle of the sport, you must be disciplined in your training, disciplined in your gameplay, and disciplined in your character traits. You must learn to be a team player and one who thinks about what is best for the team and not individual stardom.
The team inspections. We'll now move on to the league declared open, and I will ask Mrs. Jennifer Nero from the St. Kitts Nevis Olympic Committee, Women in Sports Desk Coordinator, to come forward to do the declaration.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. Wow. I mean, it is such a fantastic day. And every time I hear Miss Pamela Tyson's name, and I hear all of the different names of all of my colleagues and players, and I see a former president, Julie Hanley, is out there, Vibert, and it's very touching. It is such a pleasure to be here with you ladies, because I know this tournament will help you guys to grow. We've been through it, and it's necessary. And I'm so happy that the PS for Sport is here, speaking of the various things that they're willing to do to see to it that netball gets back on track. So we're going to give a round of applause because you're going to hold us that. Like a good neighbor, that's correct. But I'm going to be here throughout the league because I'm excited as to what's going to be happening. I might be one of the teams, we can talk. So on behalf of the St. Kitts and Nevis Olympic Committee Women in Sports Commission, the 1973 and the 1978 Netball Championship teams, the St. Kitts and Nevis Netball Association, it gives me great pleasure to declare the First Federal Credit Union Federal League open.
Well, immediately after the opening ceremony, action on the court commenced with Coca-Cola Shamrock of St. Kitts defeating Revivers of Nevis 45 goals to 14. We'll take this break and I'll be back with our feature for this evening.
War between cats and dogs. What is this place?
Well, I'm back, and tonight cricket is in the spotlight. After an impressive opening ceremony at Government House last Thursday night, the St. Kitts Masters cricket team lifted the coveted trophy as Leeward's Masters cricket champions on Sunday, 28th of May. Antigua went into the finals by virtue of defeating all of the other 4 teams in the competition. That would be Nevis, St. Martin, Anguilla, and host St. Kitts, even though that last particular game ended in a nail-biter. St. Kitts got into the finals by virtue of losing just a single game, and that to Antigua, even beating Nevis in what was effectively a semi-final contest. The home team skipper, Shane Jeffers, won the toss and sent the Antiguans into bat. At 24 for 3, the Antiguans were on shaky ground. However, a cameo from Gershon Phillip and a more sedate 28 from Captain Ian Gore got to the eventual total of a respectable enough 118 for 6. The St. Kitts team lost an early wicket in response, but skipper Shane Jeffers and Jatin Patel teamed up in an enterprising partnership which left them just 4 runs away from victory when Jeffers departed. They eventually overhauled the target for the loss of just 2 wickets. Summary scores: Antigua 118 for 6 in 20 overs, Gershon Phillips 62, Ian Gore 28 not out, Robert Murray picked up 3 for 20. Jeffers, Leader, and Liebert 1 wicket each. St. Kitts 121 for 2 in 17.2 overs, Jatin Patel 57, Shane Jeffers 45. Dean Williams and Franklin Francis 1 wicket each. Man of the finals, Jatin Patel. St. Kitts won by 8 wickets and lifted the coveted trophy. Well, let's take in these excerpts.
Never taught me in school, but gave me the opportunity to operate and run the carnival here in St. Kitts. And of course, she's one of our top netball players who played along with my sister back in the day. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Her Excellency, Dame Marcella Liebert, JP, Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis. Come on, let's give it up for her.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A very pleasant good evening to everyone. Welcome to Government House. All protocols being established do permit me to adopt the same. I must, however, acknowledge the presence of a few persons. Mr. Walford Gums, OBE, JP, His Excellency Ambassador Kenneth Douglas, Mr. Anthony Rollins, President, Leeward Islands Masters Cricket Association, Dr. Lesroy Henry, President of the St. Kitts Cricket Masters Club, Pastor Leroy Benjamin. As a former national netballer player and lifelong sports enthusiast, it is my distinct honor to be able to share my thoughts with you this evening. By way of prelude, I must confess that I am a little envious of you and wish that the netball fraternity in the region had initiated a tournament like this for us who have retired from the sport. I sincerely believe that one of the reasons for the decline in netball in the region is the lack of participation by the older, more experienced players. So kudos to you. Involvement in physical activity generally and structured sports in particular has played a transformative role in my life. Through sports, I was able to embrace several values which has significantly contributed to my development over the years. These include team spirit, teamwork, effective decision-making, discipline, healthy lifestyle, time management, empathy, and compassion, to name a few. Through sports, I was able to make and maintain connections and friendships that are deep-rooted and long-lasting. In fact, I presently enjoy many lifelong relationships because of sports. I'm sure that through this Masters tournament, you too would have met and have developed long-lasting friendships and connections that you continue to treasure. In recent times, there seems to be a growing trend that only the young are relevant to sport. By the age of 30, and definitely by the age of 35, there's a sounding alarm for one to retire. But this has been debunked and defied many times over, as we have seen and continue to see the prowess and competitiveness of top older athletes such as Tom Brady, Lionel Messi, LeBron James, and our own Clive Lloyd and Sir Vivian Richards. There is immense value in older, experienced athletes competing in national leagues or participating in masters leagues like yours. Such participation teaches invaluable lessons to young athletes and helps to maintain high standards in the sport. The insights gained through intergenerational interactions must not be underestimated, minimized, or undervalued. It is therefore of enormous importance that these types of tournaments continue to be supported and encouraged to provide continuity, especially in traditional sports that seem to be a fading attraction among the youth of our region. The Leeward Islands Cricket Masters Tournament was introduced officially in 1996, with the inaugural tournament taking place in Anguilla. And now, almost 2 decades later, it is still going strong, with 5 teams participating in this year's tournament: Nevis, Anguilla, St. Martin, Antigua, and host St. Kitts. This is reflective of the dedication and commitment of the successive executives. I do trust and hope that it continues for many more decades ahead. I am aware that one of the reasons for this tournament is to make tangible contributions towards youth development and disaster relief. I must commend your organization for embracing and contributing to 2 areas of critical importance to small island developing states. May this long continue to be an integral part of your tournament plans. Finally, let me convey my appreciation and encouragement to all players and wish you every success in the tournament. I also recognize and appreciate the support teams. As someone who played sports for many years, I am aware of how those who work behind the scenes can be overlooked, if not forgotten. I assure you that your efforts are critical to the success of the respective teams. I have learned that one of the regular teams is not in attendance this year. Nevertheless, I do hope that the tournament is exciting and yields great results. Let the tournament begin, and may the best team win. Thank you.
Good evening to all. and I want to accept the protocol as previously established. However, though, I would like to say special thanks to Her Excellency for hosting us on this special occasion. Her Excellency, as you know, was involved with sports, and it is nice to see that she continues to welcome sports, although she is in this high position. And I want to thank her and hope that she will continue to do much for the sport of cricket and for other sports in general. Thank you, Your Excellency. The Leeward Islands Cricket T20 was dormant for 3 years due to the COVID. Our last tournament was held in Antigua in 2019, and Antigua gained the championship. Antigua is not here at the moment, but they're in St. Kitts. I understand that they arrived, but they had asked to go to the hotel to drop off their gears, so we expect to see them later. The executive of the Leeward Islands continues to meet via Zoom to make sure that the affairs of the association is continued. And we'd like to use this opportunity to thank the General Secretary of the Leeward Islands Cricket Masters Association, who is based in St. Thomas, for organizing those Zoom meetings. I would also like to thank Mr. Curtis Morton, who is with us today. He's the PRO for the Leeward Islands Cricket Association. Curtis, can you stand, please? Yes, Curtis Morton, he's the PRO for the Leeward Islands Cricket Association. This year's tournament will be a good tournament. And I can tell you that one of the reasons that it will be good, because in the past, you find that the teams were zoned. And if you have a team with 3 teams in one zone, you only likely to play 2 games. We are playing round robin, so we're playing each other. So we expect all teams to be ready, because this competition will be different from the others as we are playing round robin. We have a little setback with reference to grounds. As you're aware, the president of the St. Kitts Cricket Masters indicated that there are T20 games going now in St. Kitts, all around St. Kitts. And we were given a Molineux Sporting Complex to start our competition. Most of the games will be played at Molineux on Friday, starting on Friday. And the first game is at 9 o'clock, and is Antigua versus Anguilla. At 12 o'clock is St. Kitts versus St. Martin, and at 3 o'clock is Nevis versus Anguilla. Unfortunately, that we do not have St. Thomas and St. Croix with us this evening due to flight difficulties into St. Kitts. As Dr. Henry indicated, that maybe that is time that we pay attention to flight arrangement and see what we can do to improve it so that we can get more competition going on in St. Kitts, because as you're aware, St. Kitts is always a good host, and we're looking forward to do such.
So 1 hit away from victory. One mighty 6 could finish it. What are the thoughts of Shane Jeffers? Will he just push it quietly around, or will he go for the fantastic finish? Williams it is. Moves in now to bowl to Jeffers. Jeffers pulls it away. That's 4. Oh my goodness, they're rushing to victory now. Short delivery from Williams. You could see the frustration there for the bowler. Just 2 runs required. Antigua The captain, Ian Gore, gets a consolation hug from the wicketkeeper. And you could see that Antigua's given up the ghost. Manager, you have given up the ghost?
I have.
He's given up the ghost. So, well, just 2 runs required. 1 to tie, 2 runs to win. And has Shane Jeffers gotten close to his half centuries on 45? 44. So 1-6 could do it for Shane Jeffers. Here goes. Swinging, slow ball, beaten. He appeals. The umpire says not out. The keeper is saying no. He was out of his crease. The umpire says no, he's not. And a slow ball there. Beating Shane Jeffers. The wicketkeeper is adamant that he was out.
Well, that's our package for this evening. I am Curtis Morton, reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and sacrifice. Have a good night.